Hi, my name is Mariah Marshall. Everyone that is here in this room has at least one enemy in their lives. You may or may not have stood up towards them, and if so, good job. If not, I can understand because I very rarely stood up to any of my enemies before. But I can tell you that after my enemy did something to me, I would go home and think about all the things I could have said but didn't. I would not be shocked if any of you did that also. It could be someone from work, school, neighbor, or even just someone on social media. Everyone has at least one enemy, or had. I used to have many enemies, especially in middle school. They would all bully me to the point of me breaking down the school's bathroom, and I would not do anything about it. Although enemies are the worst, and we all really want to put in our words to them, it is not always the best idea as it can and will make things worse. So today I will be discussing Aesop's fable The Snowman, which may not seem like a story about enemies, but from when I read deeper into it, this is what I got from it. The Aesop's fable The Snowman is a long fable, so I'll summarize the fable for you. The Snowman is about a snowman that was created by kids during the winter. He was built with snow, two triangular pieces of tile as his eyes, a broken rake as his mouth, and he also had teeth. Now, I want you to think of a snowman that you used to make as kids, maybe even now whenever it snows. The traditional way is buttons as eyes and mouth, and a carrot as a nose, sometimes finished with a top hat on its head. Then comes in the yard dog. This yard dog has an enemy, and this yard dog demonstrates why we do not fight back our enemies. This yard dog was telling the snowman about how the sun and the moon works, which I could say is the snowman's enemy. Then two people came by to admire the snowman. This is when the yard dog claims that he never bites those two. The yard dog's enemy was his master's youngest son. The son kicked away the yard dog's bone that he was chewing on. The yard dog did not like that, and he bit the son's leg. This is where him fighting back with his enemy did not go too well. His master chained him up outside with a kennel, so he's rarely inside as of right now. In summary, the snowman tells me that we should not fight back with our enemies. I was not too sure if anyone else would have catched on with that, so I decided to share that all with you. Now, with that being said, let's talk about one of my personal experiences. During middle school and my freshman year of high school, I had some enemies. I get it, middle school is where we all start to grow up and we start to mature more and we get cocky and we want to feel cool and popular. I was a kid that was very much kept to herself. I hated conflict and drama, but somehow I always got into it. I'll try so hard not to engage in my enemy's behaviors, but one day I had enough. I had an enemy, and she followed me into the bathroom and started picking on me about my clothes. I was not very fortunate back then, as my family was going through some financial troubles. So I didn't have the clothes from Justice. Instead, I had the clothes from Walmart that for some reason everyone hated. After she started to pick on me for probably about the 100th time that week, I decided to stand up for myself. I did say some nasty things to her, which I did not regret as she was treating me like I was a rag doll. She started to cry and went to the principal's office, which is where I got into some trouble. Nothing too serious, just a simple write-up, but if I had not said anything back to her and just ignored her like I usually do, I would not have went home to an angry mother. By defending myself from the enemy I had for a bit over a year, I faced the consequences of getting in trouble, and she did not face any consequences. Instead, she got loved on and all these apologies from different people that I doubt even knew her. The fable, the snowman, and my story are similar in ways. The yard dog and I both stood up for ourselves, but we faced the consequences. Enemies will always be around, you just cannot let them get to you, as you will be the one to face the consequences. Never let your guard down, but not all the way down. Thank you for listening. Are there any questions for me?